welcome to episode 156 of the China Show. It's jam-packed as usual.
Oh, yeah.
Fair warning, I'm a little under the weather today, so I think C-Milk's going to be taking the helm for most of the show. But I'm still here.
I'm also sick.
Yeah.
Just letting everyone know.
Yeah.
I'm a couple days ahead of you.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, you've caught the worst of it the worst day.
Yeah, you know, like if you try to swim through molasses.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling right now.
I was there a couple days ago.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get right into it. We're going to saunter right into it with what's new. This is where we talk about what's new with regards to China. And you know what's kind of interesting?
What's that?
You know, like when you're trying to write a history term paper or something?
Yeah, I do.
And they're like, talk about the presidents,
Yeah.
previous presidents or whatever.
Eisenhower.
Okay.
Talk about Teddy Roosevelt.
What's one of the things you generally need to find out about them?
You'd find out when they were born,
Yep.
when they served, and what things they did for the country.
That's true. But in China, if you try to find out what Xi Jinping's birthday is, Baidu, which is the Google of China, says no.
Yeah, they say, no!
No. It's like,
Shall not know!
there are no responses to this.
It literally says Xi Jinping 出生日期. So it's like, what is... It doesn't even say what is. It says Xi Jinping's birth date.
Yeah. What is Xi Jinping's birth date?
Well, you'd never know. And I first thought this could be a little bit of a rumor, a little bit of a troll.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
I pulled it up myself.
Yeah. So you see, I found this, and then I'm like, nah. And then you were also like, nah. And then you actually try to look at it yourself.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They literally banned their own leader's birth date.
Yeah. You can't search Xi Jinping's birthday on Baidu.
I'd like to brainstorm with you a little bit.
Sure.
Why would a country like China, which is quite literally North Korea now, except with more money, why would they do something like this? We had a couple thought experiments.
Yeah, I feel like what they're trying to do is cover up, or, like there's a lot of lore surrounding Xi Jinping.
Oh, so much lore.
There's a lot of like real BS stories about him
Yes.
carrying like 100 kilograms of this up and down a hill.
Yep.
And, they come up with these fantastical stories. But I feel like the timelines don't match up. So they probably said that he like did some supernatural event in 1946, but actually he was only like very young at the time.
Sure.
Or something.
He was born in like 53 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, so I can kind of confirm what you're saying.
Yeah.
And the reason is that we were both in China when there was a bit of a scandal.
Yeah.
And I remember what happened was they started to build this lore because it first started that Xi Jinping was super smart and he was comes from a wealthy family, all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then it morphed because then it was like, shit, that doesn't follow like Marxist-Leninism, right? That can't be, we can't have this princeling thing because all these articles started coming out in Western media about how Xi Jinping is a princeling.
Yes.
How he's basically a Fordyce, because he is. He's basically royalty of a dynasty.
Yeah.
It's not, don't think about New China. We always say 新中国, right? The New China is post-communist, communist, Mao Zedong China and then post that.
Yes.
But, the CCP is a dynasty. It's
For sure.
literally nothing's changed in China. It's just another dynasty. So they're like, shit, we gotta back off of this whole princeling, second generation rich stereotype.
Yep.
So they built up all, like you said, this like lore. He was a pig farmer. He was poor. He was ostracized. He was thrown out into the countryside, but became a leader from the bottom up. And they're like, it's much better if we take him and make him like a dirty pig farmer.
Yes.
And raise him up and look at anyone in China can become a powerful, strong man like Xi Jinping, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, the whole 100 they were putting out this like North Korea level stuff.
Yeah.
Where he'd have a sack of, grain over here and a this and that and walk 10 kilometers up a hill or whatever. And people started doing math, and they're like, that's physically capable. He would have to be like the world's strongest man in the history of mankind.
Yes.
And even then, he wouldn't be able to go this far.
Yeah.
Because Chinese people aren't stupid, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait a minute, but he went to Tsinghua, like university, the top university in China, and he got this and this degree. How did that work out if what you just said is actually true? That's what people were questioning like 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When this whole thing was unfolding, people were like looking it up. This doesn't work out. The dates didn't match up. And now it makes perfect sense as to why you'd get rid of a birthday because you have no genesis point.
Yeah, you can't go back and say, wait a second, in 1950, whatever, 1963, he should have been here, but then why does it say he was there?
Right.
And you can still find out his birthday if you look on Wikipedia or Google.
Yeah.
But remember, Wikipedia and Google are blocked in mainland China, so this is really just for Chinese people not to be able to find out.
Yes.
Because this is China's search engine that you can see behind us over here, Baidu. Just a knockoff of Google.
So yeah, you can't find out when Xi Jinping was born because he's too sacred. Next thing, you'll find out that he beat 18 holes of golf in 17 shots, unlike the 19 shots of Kim Jong-il.
Yes. Okay, what do you got for us here?
Before I do this, I just wanted to say something. We are going to get to this whole leak Pentagon Discord thing.
Yes.
We're getting to that. That's going to be part of... If you guys are new to the show for some reason, we cover what's new, like the hot news top, like... hot button issues that are happening in China, and then the main segment's a little bit later. So just stay true. Stay with us because this is where all the fun stuff happens right in the beginning. A lot of funny stuff. This is kind of funny.
Yeah, you know where you're sitting right now? You could start doing hand signs.
Oh, but I don't know sign language.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I know I love you.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like this. Like,
No, this is I love you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the single gesture. And then this is like rock on.
I watched some Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he learns that.
You're probably right. That's probably like the whole way to do it.
Right.
This is probably like the slang.
Okay. I thought that's just like devil horns or something.
No, not if it's this.
Okay.
I might be full of shit. That's what I learned when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I could be totally full of shit.
Yeah, maybe someone trolled you.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
I have a funny story about this.
Okay, what's that?
When when I was a kid, all right? I shouldn't say kid. When I was in high school.
Yeah, it's not really a kid. I guess it could
We
be.
didn't have cell phones, right? Believe it or not, kids out there, we didn't have cell phones. Only rich kids had cell phones.
Yeah, and they were just those crappy,
So before sports practice after school,
Yeah.
we would sometimes order pizza, but we couldn't because we didn't have a phone to do it, right? And we didn't want to spend money on like a pay phone or whatever. So we go to the library, right? And there was a free government service or whatever that my friend would use called like text to speech or something. It's for deaf people. It's like a free service. And I was
Okay.
like, dude, you should not be using that, right? And he's
Right.
like, this is so simple though. And he'd order pizza through this service, right?
Right, so it's for like dumb people who can't speak.
Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
or deaf, right? Because they can't.
Deaf people can. Oh, they can't hear. I mean, no, it'll work the other way for them.
What do you mean?
Like, deaf people can't sign language over the phone, right?
Right, but this whole service is you type it in,
Yes.
and the operator calls for you, right? So you type in whatever, and they type in back. Anyway,
Yeah, but deaf people can speak.
yes, I understand, but how are they going to call to do something and get no feedback?
Yeah, I get that part. I get
you
that
could be
part.
talking to nothing.
Yeah. I get that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, IP relay, that's what it's called. And so my friend would just, I was like, even back then, I was like, this is a little, you're abusing a free service for deaf people. But I got the pizza in, right?
Right.
So anyway, one time, this guy shows up with a pizza, right? And he shows up and the guy goes like, one of you is deaf? And my friend, he just didn't know what to do. He just starts like fake sign languaging. And I'm like, what the like,
Yeah, what
he's
are you
trying to
doing?
cover it up, and the guy goes, "I know sign language." Like my brother's deaf or something like this.
Oh, no.
And it totally like blew the case wide open.
Yeah.
Now that has nothing to do with this clip.
No, what is this clip?
You guys probably remember the CCP took over. The Chinese government took over Hong Kong.
Yeah,
more or
Hong
less.
Kong's a lost cause, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
Yeah, rest in peace, Hong Kong. Anyway, it's a surveillance vessel, a police surveillance vessel of China now.
Yeah.
With the national security law.
Yeah.
Now, in Hong Kong, they have their branch, basically their administrative like controls of Beijing in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And they're in control of a lot of things. So they put out this clip. I'll play a couple seconds.
yeah, because you see, the thing is, Hong Kong people in general are not happy with the Chinese government. They don't want to be a part of China. So China has to constantly convince them that it's the
Yes.
right thing to do to be a part of China.
Yes.
And they always get backlash because nobody wanted it. No, Hong Kongers don't want that. You know what I mean? So anyway, so let's take a look. What is this? I'll play a little bit of this here for you.
Stability is the cornerstone of development.
For the past 25 years, since the return to the motherland, Hong Kong has been resilient when facing challenges.
Okay, so you see that, right? Go back.
Yeah, I'll go back a little bit. So
You can freeze it back on that lady or whatever.
I don't like it when they call it the motherland.
Well, I mean, this is CCP logic, right? The average Hong Konger that sees this is like, shut up. You
Yeah,
know, they're like,
yeah.
we have nothing to do with this, right? Mm-hmm. But what happened was they're trying to put out all this propaganda about how China or Hong Kong has become better since it
Right.
returned to China, right?
Right.
But this is running in Hong Kong for Hong Kong people,
Yeah.
like in English and in Cantonese. Mm-hmm. And they put this ad out, and they spent $170,000 on it, right, for
Yeah.
promotion of this
1.5 million Hong Kong or
ad.
something.
Yeah, 1.3 million, yeah.
Forget.
So this ad goes out there, and it's like supposed to be this promotion. Do you know how many views it got on YouTube?
No, how many?
4,000.
Wow.
So you imagine you
Money
spend
well spent.
170 grand US and then you end up with 4,000 views. I mean, that's like
It's pathetic.
how many dollars per view is this? Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, and most of the views are probably just like their own staff.
Yeah, probably. Hit F5.
Yeah.
Over
Isn't
and
that
over
crazy?
again, yeah.
It just shows you no one's interested in this propaganda shit. Like, it's not interesting.
No.
It's really not. And you can't throw money at it and expect people to like it.
No, absolutely. So anyway, I thought this was a great kind of view into this because Winston and I have covered this a lot.
Yeah.
There are accounts with millions of followers. If you go on YouTube right now, you look at People's Daily or Xinhua or CGT and check the subscribers and then go to their videos and see how many views they're getting.
They got like 700.
Yeah, I mean, that's some of the higher ones. I mean, you got some of these channels that have 2 million subs that are getting under 100 views per video.
It's crazy. And they just pump them out.
Yeah, and it's not only that, it's Facebook too.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
these
the Facebook accounts. We've shown them before.
Yeah, 2 million followers. You have some people like Jing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
2 million followers or whatever, and then their posts will get what? Nothing. Almost nothing.
2 thumbs up.
CGTN, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
right?
like what is that?
To the
There's no
motherland,
interactions with these content.
Hong Kong has been resilient when facing challenges.
Anyway,
Okay.
this is interesting. Somebody tweeted this.
Okay, let's see. What is this?
It says, just received this odd, first time ever, direct from our CIA, CSIS, that's Canada's CIA, I guess.
Yeah.
Letter about the canceling of some Chinese magazine. Way to go, Canada. So I guess this is an effort, and somebody else told me about this, an effort for Canadian intelligence cracking down on pro-CCP publications within Canada.
Yeah,
I
which
guess
is good.
Which is good.
I mean, it's about time.
Little step forward.
The problem is they masquerade as legitimate Canadian, press. And they put out all this pro-CCP stuff, very anti-Canadian government stuff, and it's all about controlling the perception of the Chinese diaspora there.
Yeah.
And they just put it out there, and they're never challenged because, if you've got money, that's how capitalist societies work. You can, because of freedom of speech, you can do this kind of thing. But I think it's got to a point now where they're taking notice that it's really bad, and it conflicts with the national security interests.
Right.
So
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Let us continue.
Something else? Oh, what do we got here?
Passport douche is back.
Passport douche, whatever you want to call him. He is, if you guys are new here, just let you catch you up here. There was a movie called Wolf Warrior and Wolf Warrior 2 that was put out in China as Chinese propaganda, but also as a Hollywood rival movie.
Yes.
And the whole thing was that if you pull out your passport, right? Wu Jing, the main actor of this movie, said, if you pull out a Chinese passport when you're abroad, America's nothing. Now, if you pull out a Chinese passport, then everyone will be scared of you and respect you.
Yeah.
Because everyone respects China now. This is China's
It's ridiculous.
era. So this guy who's in Brazil, I assume, or some South American country,
Cuba or Brazil.
South Central American country, he's going around and he keeps he pays these local people to try to rob him or attack him or steal his girl. And every time he pulls out his passport and he says, I'm a Chinese, this is my passbook.
Yes.
And then they all say, oh, I'm so sorry. And they run away. And this is just yet another saga, a piece of the saga, really, in Chinese passport douches videos. And we'd like to show you today.
Yeah, we're going to show it to you. I just wanted to add something we're going to show next week. This whole Chinese passport thing, there's an interesting twist. There's a Chinese guy living in America, I believe in Canada, posted on Twitter how when he went to the DMV to get his driver's license, he pulled out his Chinese passport, put a $10 note in it, and bribed the instructor. Okay?
Yeah, right.
And because of because he has a powerful passport now and $10 or whatever. And so he was bragging about how you can pay off the instructors here in America and that it's really easy to do this and that. And the other Chinese netizens called him out, and they actually reported him to the DMV for fraud. Because he just posted it on his public Twitter account.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and then he was afterwards oh no, they actually follow the law. It's I was just trying to joke or whatever. But no, it's incredible. This kind of bravado that comes along with it. I've got the Chinese passport. I can do what I want.
That's an oof moment.
Yeah, we'll show you next week though, because I've got a very in-depth thing about it.
Yeah, so this is part of the flag saga. So he eventually retired the passport as part of his flag. Now it's the Chinese flag. Let's see what he does.
Let's take a look. I'll get us out of here.
今天有刀刀了你？不要啊！我还年轻呢！救命啊！救命！哇！等一下！哎，这个，行了，过来，行了，上了。好，对不起，这样住。 哎呀，幸好有你啊！
I love that you did that. That's
Hold on, I
great.
got some audio in there.
Oh, you do? I'm sorry. I'm always cutting it too close. Let me-
年轻了啊！
I just love his sound effects. the whole
Yeah,
time.
it's really funny.
So today, passport douche, I can freeze it on there. Said, no, I'm too young to die. I like how he's trying to inform the Chinese populace abroad. I mean, because let's be honest, the average Chinese person is going to look at this and be like, that's really dumb.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a certain subset of people that maybe find themselves abroad someday and be like, well, I saw that video on Douyin, which is Chinese TikTok, and our fellow countryman pulled out the flag or pulled out his passport in this scenario where I could potentially be beheaded.
Yes, yes.
And for some reason, he gets out of it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I also find it funny that in these scenarios, he's always like whining and like complaining and
He's
saying,
being
please
beaten
help
up.
me, and
He's
being
like-
beaten up and crying.
He has to rely on something else to save him because he can't do it himself. He has to rely on his passport or his flag. Oh, man.
He actually said directly. He said in that video, he said, "I'm still young," but I translated it as "No, I'm too young to die."
Yeah,
Because in
yeah.
that scenario, that's what
Yeah,
it
of
means.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so they were gonna feed him to the sharks, but there's a huge plot hole here. Can you go back to the beginning of the video?
Yeah, sure.
I found a big plot hole here. Not that I should even be looking for any discrepancies in these very stupid videos. but
Okay, let's take a look.
pause it there.
Okay, so we met again. Oh, sorry. My reflexes aren't what they used to be till I...
Yeah, for sure. So it says, "So we meet again."
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, here's the plot hole.
Mm-hmm.
That implies, and you can see from the other videos, that he's met these people before.
It's the same actors we've seen
It's the same
before,
actors, and it
some of
makes
them.
sense. It says, "So we meet again."
Mm-hmm.
So they run into him. They already know he's Chinese.
Yeah.
They already know his Chinese passbook and his flag, and
Sure.
they've left him alone and apologized before.
Yes.
They run into him again, say, "So we meet again," and then still get scared away by the Chinese flag after already knowing he's Chinese. It's very stupid.
Maybe this is just a different script, like maybe he bumped into them, the previous night or something.
Maybe.
I don't know, when he was out gambling.
I think his script is falling apart.
I think so too. Anyway, passport douche, always entertainment.
Always.
Really ridiculous. And this is a super dangerous idea, by the way, to spread
so
around.
dangerous.
Especially...
That's why we make fun of it.
Yeah, yeah.
help people.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
We're just doing a public service, trying to help you guys. If without us, you would be screwed. You wouldn't know what to do. You'd keep busting out your Chinese passbook and keep getting beheaded.
Yeah, somehow this reminds me of in like 90s and some 90s, 80s American movies. They'd always be like, "I'm an American citizen,"
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And then they'd be like saved or whatever.
Yeah.
It's got those vibes.
You know what's the funny part about that?
What?
You would be saved. And-
That's
and
that's true.
I just want to warn all the Chinese people out there
Yeah.
from the bottom of my heart. Look at your country's actions whenever there's been Chinese people in danger abroad. They literally 100% of the time track record abandon you.
Yes,
And
they
tell
always
you to
run
fend
away.
for yourself. They never ever actually help you.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, hang up your flag, show them you're Chinese,"
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't work. And they're like, "Well, we're gonna have to wait. It's too dangerous for us to come in and help you."
Yes.
Look what happened in Ukraine. Look what happened in Sudan.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad track record.
Very bad track record. Anyway,
Don't stay in a country that's not gonna help you.
no. Anyway, it's ad time. You know what that means? Time for a word from our sponsor.
Most important thing on a bike trip, beer.
And the most important thing for a healthy lifestyle is a healthy diet.
And that's why I'm proud to say this video is brought to you by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day, and originally I wanted to give it a try because I wanted better gut health, I wanted increased energy, I wanted immune system support, and I hate taking all these like 10 pounds of vitamins and pills and all these vegetables and stuff. It's so much more convenient to take AG1 in the morning before I even drink my coffee. It makes me feel amazing because I know I just did something really good for my body. It's got all the vitamins I need. It's got everything that my body craves throughout the day. Taking AG1 is so easy. It's the easiest thing you can do under a minute. It's 1 scoop of powder mixed with water once a day, and it's been part of millions of mornings since 2010. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ADV. That's athleticgreens.com/ADV. Check it out.
By the way,
Okay.
just wanted to say we love AG1. We love Athletic Greens.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not only do we love the company for sponsoring us, but we also love the product. We both use it.
Exactly.
It's fantastic stuff. It definitely is much better than taking handfuls of vitamins, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Very good for your body.
Tropical taste. It's
Yes.
nice.
Good for your soul, too, actually. I heard it's good for your soul.
It's good for your soul?
Yeah, apparently.
That's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you all know that I have this thing about grab hags, okay?
Yeah?
For those of you who don't know what a grab hag is like a middle-aged auntie in China.
Yeah, I would say, like, closer to elderly.
Yeah, sort of in their early 60s.
60s, yeah. Middle-aged 60s?
Late 50s would still be considered
I feel like you're
middle-aged.
moving the goalposts because you're getting older.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, they were middle-aged back when I was middle-aged or whatever. I guess I'm middle-aged.
You're middle-aged.
So they were middle-aged back when I was young.
Right,
okay.
right. I
So
got
yeah,
you.
anyway, they're in their like 60s, let's say, early
Sure.
60s. And they're awful, okay? They are the kind of people that will just strip all of the flowers off of a tree and all the leaves just because it's
We've covered
free.
this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, now what happens in small villages around China is whenever there's some kind of a celebration, the local village cadres will put on a little banquet or something.
Yeah.
And
It
everyone,
doesn't happen all the time.
Oh, sure.
You'll see it, though.
But it happens.
Yeah.
And everyone gets to go sit around and they prepare food and put it down, right?
Yeah.
This is where you see a lot of those grab hag fights.
Yes.
Where they're usually fighting over the leftovers.
Yeah.
So, when everything's done, it's like who can take the most home? And they have like plastic bags.
Like a doggy bag fight.
Yeah, but it gets insane, like physical. People
Yeah.
are like tearing stuff out of each other, and it's like handfuls of.
You'll grab a handful of
Yeah.
pork, but actually you're grabbing a handful of the pork of that person.
Yeah, but
take their meat.
It's very, very crazy. It's a massive display of lack of civility, you could say. All right. Anyway, so
Oh, by the way, Chinese people hate this behavior.
yes, they do,
Yeah.
and this is. I wanted to show this because this is the first time I've seen a grab hag stopped mid grab.
That's awesome.
So let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. So everyone can notice now. The food has just been put down. So they're just bringing the food out.
Yeah.
The server's just bringing the food out for everyone to eat. It hasn't really even been touched yet.
No.
And the grab hag pulls out a plastic packet. She eyes a dish that she really likes and she wants to steal it.
I hate
Okay?
those little red bags.
Oh,
by the
me
way.
too. Anyway, so take a look what she does. About to pour the whole thing in her bag. Oh, sorry. Get out of here.
It's almost too quick. Can you go back to that? It's almost too quick. That
like
woman
sleight
is
of hand.
so quick.
Yeah, she's like, and if you read the subtitles, she's like, what are you doing? We haven't even
Yeah.
started eating yet.
Can you imagine sitting down to a public dinner, right?
Yeah.
Where you're with like your own other villagers. You
Yeah.
don't necessarily know them very well, but
Yeah.
you sit down with them and you bust out a plastic bag to dump everyone's food into it.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a
And
shared
leave.
dish.
Yeah, and she's gonna leave.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, she'll probably still stay and eat everything
Yeah,
else,
you're right,
but
you're
she's
right, sorry.
she's going to have the bag of that mabo tofu
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
it is over there. But you see, she's ready to pour it, and it's like, nope, sorry, get out of here.
Epic Fuyuan right there.
Yeah.
Epic server.
Exactly. She even says, look, just put the food out. What are you doing? And then you can see she kind of like semi-embarrassed puts it down. It's like, oh, I guess you guys all want some too, eh?
I mean, it's just insane.
What is this nonsense?
Um,
Anyway,
yeah.
just one more time, just because
No, for sure.
I love it. You have to understand that nobody likes grab hags, okay?
No one.
And big kudos to the server for
Yes.
leaping in at the last second to prevent this grab haggery.
Love it.
Okay, here we go. Yep, sorry. Get the hell out of here, stupid grab hag. It's like, oh, okay. Win.
Yeah.
We just need more of that. Grab hags need to be called out.
Yes. Because they get away with it, right?
Yeah.
So they keep doing it.
I mean, no one wants to. They're like bulldozers.
Yes.
Try to get in their way. They'll just,
Tractors.
the tractors. They just steamroll you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So what do we got going on?
Do we have a tractor soundbite, by the way? Or do
No, we
not?
don't.
Oh, okay.
I got a couple other
Sure,
sound
what do we
bites.
got?
Let's see. I think I put something together here.
See what's on the menu today, guys.
Yeah,
It's preposterous.
we
People
had
were
to.
begging for that
Well,
one.
we had to, and
Yeah.
I brought the moon back.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
I'm sure we got some more other ones. We'll bring them in later. Okay.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, so what have we got going on over here?
So you guys might remember from previous episodes, we covered something called the Shamata. And
Yeah.
Shamata is this bizarre culture of migrant workers, poor factory workers that come in from other parts of China
Yeah.
to the big cities. They don't have a lot of money, and they don't have anybody. They don't know anyone. So
Yeah.
they latch onto this weird subculture called Shamata, where they listen to shit EDM music on shit speakers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They drive loud, crappy scooters.
Mm-hmm.
And they love to kind of almost like a little bit of a punk look, little bit of a hairdresser look.
Yes.
And they also poof up their hair like in weird, bizarre hairstyles, right? And this guy, he just took it to a new level.
Yeah, let's take a look. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Play. Oh, wait,
hold on.
Wait.
So I just wanted to have a nice little one. I love the we love the Shamata. We stand for the Shamata.
Yeah.
They're lost souls.
This is just ridiculous, though. It's made it literally a bird's nest.
I think it's great because people are often calling them bird's nest hair people, so they really embrace the meme. And I think there's some self-recognition, kind of self-awareness amongst the Shamata
Self-deprecation,
community. Yeah, they know it's a joke, and they know that they look ridiculous, which is great.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Anyway, now, before we show you the next clip, we have to tell you nobody got hurt.
Yes, we have to preface this. Big YouTube warning here. No one got hurt here.
No one.
So it looks like you're about to watch Live Leak. I promise you it's not Live Leak.
No, and we're going to talk you through this, okay? So what you're looking at is a dash cam, okay, of a woman who's kind of just had enough of things, right?
Yeah.
So what she do?
Can we actually just play it through?
You want to just play it through?
Yeah, let's set it up.
Okay.
This is actually a Huawei ad. As you can see, she'll enter a Huawei store. So I think this is their new ad. I found it very strange marketing.
Yeah, okay, anyway, let's take a look. Remember, guys, no one gets injured, so, it might look it, but they don't.
我今天都死在这儿了，好吧，来，就来，来啊！我今天都死在这儿，好吧，我今天都死在这儿，走开，走开，走开！啊！啊！啊！啊！我操！我今天都死在这儿。
Yeah, okay. So I guess she really needed a Huawei phone.
I guess she just
beats the queue.
Yeah, I mean, like you're not gonna be waiting in line.
No.
You know.
Yeah. So for those of you curious, there's another angle of this. No one got hurt. No one got hurt. No one got hurt. She was arrested.
Just so there's some context, show that she
yeah, she was arrested.
No, yeah, but also show where she entered to the mall. That part, I mean, that clip is so, like, I feel bad for her mental state. Obviously, she's losing it, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say, though, is that is a legendary clip. I mean, the whole, can we go through it again?
Yeah, sure. We'll go back to the beginning.
Like, it's so cool. The way that you follow, like it's like a video game.
Well, I mean, like one thing that's good about this, because look, we're talking about this for a reason, but when she gets here and they're like kids on bikes and stuff, she shouts them "Zolkai," which means like get lost.
Yeah, that's actually why we included this.
Yeah.
There was finally, this wasn't death.
Yeah,
Finally.
so she's like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
She hoots, so honks, as you'd say in America.
Yeah.
Then just drives into the mall, straight for the Huawei store, and obviously, she didn't want to get a Huawei phone that badly, but
I think she was actually hired by Apple to take out the competition.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, beat the lines. You know what I mean?
Those guys who shill in for Huawei. They should play this clip. I mean, this shows the demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Chinese people want Huawei's. They don't want Apple.
Yeah.
Can we just play it through again?
You want to play it one more time?
I thought it was so cool.
Okay.
The way this like kind of transpired. And I'm so
here?
happy no one got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It's such a video game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's...
I mean, I feel bad, but I'm so happy no one got hurt. Like, honestly, it's this weird relief because I've seen so many opposite videos.
Yeah, of course. Only phones were hurt.
Only phones were hurt.
And doors.
And doors. And walls.
Yeah.
And the car. Like, it's crazy. It's like someone's opening doors.
Yeah.
Those people almost got hurt.
Yeah, that security guard was just like, I'm out. we go. Bam. Well, we should use this for the marketing.
I think it's
material.
viral marketing.
Yeah.
No, guys,
What?
it's not fake. This is real.
It's real.
And this is not actually an ad. We just threw in a Huawei ad at the end of
Yeah,
it because
yeah.
she drove into a Huawei store. That's the joke, not Jake.
Yeah, it's a joke.
But yeah, why did
Anyway.
we bring this up though?
There have been a string of horrible things. We're not gonna show any of it, but we just wanted to touch
I
on
can
it.
throw a picture.
Yeah, we got a picture of it. Yeah. Just fast forward a bit.
Yeah.
But over the past year, we've seen multiple attacks where people just drive into crowds and completely like flatten crowds of people in cars. These particular ones you're seeing here are all BMWs, but there've been multiple like crazy attacks on pedestrians with cars in China. There was another one last week, a big one, and it seems to be something that's really getting worse rather than better.
Oh yeah, I mean this is just 3 slides, but there's been dozens recently. In the dozens that have made the news, there's been a lot of WeChat clips going around of others that didn't make the news.
Yeah.
And actually, the Chinese government's been covering up a lot of them, saying, "Oh, it's just a accident. Oh,
Yeah,
someone didn't know how to drive." You know.
Yeah, remember they said traffic accident
Yeah.
when somebody, remember that guy drove in to the crowd of people and started throwing R&B on the road and shouting.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it was a traffic
It was
accident.
a traffic. I mean, like they can't cover this up. There's a huge mental health crisis in China. That's not to detract. Mental health crises everywhere, but this is something that gets underreported / covered up.
Yeah, because China's very ill-equipped to deal with mental health issues. I know I used to train doctors in China, and the mechanisms they have in place to deal with mental health are very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say the same, like you said, about other countries, but you know, even if you look at San Francisco, where you've got crazies out on the street because of the lack of care for them and stuff, there are still institutions and there's still options for people in America that could take, like, if they were to go down that path, families wanted to help, if they want to choose it,
or someone was the guide, then in that scenario.
In China, there just isn't.
Yeah,
it's left to the family. The family must take care of the mentally ill person.
Yeah.
And kind of make sure they're taking their meds, and that's that, really.
Yeah, nobody talks about it, right? That's another thing, is nobody talks about mental illness in China. So
you don't have institutions or anything like that. There's nothing to help them. So
well, there's also no prescriptions. There's nothing. There's no doctors equipped.
And it's
for
just seen as a weakness, so people don't want to talk about it,
So that's why, if you think we were being a little bit heartless with the woman driving through the mall, you have to understand what a relief that is for us to see that kind of video where dozens of people are not murdered.
Yes.
It's satisfying to see, okay, thankfully she made sure no one was in her way during her breakdown.
Yeah, so kudos to her for having the right kind of mental breakdown, I suppose.
Right. Anyway.
So, time for us to move on, everybody, to our main segment, which, of course, is the Soft Power Hour. This is where we talk about how China's trying to change your mind through various means. And what do we got on the cards today? We're talking about this leak. Maybe you can give everybody a background. Or are we what are we doing first here?
No, it's all part of it.
Okay.
But let's go back, because this is before the leak. President Tsai Ing-wen, she visited the House Representative, right? She also just visited America, which is kind of unprecedented, right? The reason being...
Well, her previous counterparts have transited through America before.
Yes.
But they just didn't meet up with, like, big heads,
This was
political
a big deal.
figures.
This is a big deal. Now, China, quick, super brief history. China claims Taiwan as its own. It, in fact, is a separate country. It runs itself. It's its own currency, own government, everything. It's like a 90-something on the Freedom House Index. China's a 9. It's not part of China. But China claims it, and they make it their utmost goal as CCP leadership to take it back.
Yeah.
So you've probably been seeing a lot of stuff about them threatening to take back Taiwan, and the World War III is going to involve Taiwan and China and the U.S. Taiwan makes all the world's chips, so... both countries really are vying for Taiwan's kind of control, that kind of nonsense discourse is going on. The truth of the matter is that it's an independent country. Yeah. And it deserves to be left alone. China won't leave it alone. No. That's really the be all and end all. So whenever Taiwan makes a display of saying, yeah, we are a separate country, we're a separate entity, we're not controlled by you, China has to throw a tantrum. Right?
Every single time.
They've done this so many times, time and time again, right?
Yeah.
Go to the next slide. We'll go through about what happened here because it was pretty
so
insane.
we told you guys last time, when she spoke to the House of Representatives at the Ronald Reagan Library, then China sanctioned the library, which is dumb.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And of course, then China launched Operation Fishkill 2.0.
Yeah. Just in case you're not familiar with Operation Fishkill, we'll catch you up.
Yeah. So this is, by the way, this was a simulated attack that they broadcast all over China, social media, on TV, and so on. This is a simulated attack on Taiwan.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. This is really in poor taste.
By the way, this is the Chinese government. This is not a fan
of
fiction
course.
video. Can I just throw something in here?
Sure.
China, this is really ugly. This is like the worst CG I've ever seen in my life. This sucks and it's gross. Make better shit.
Not only that, but if you take a look, they only managed to hit the island twice.
I know, look. It looks like they hit Ilan, and it looks like they hit freaking Kaohsiung, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, come on, you're firing all these missiles and stuff and you only hit twice. Shows your precision strikes are not.
Well, you know what it actually shows you?
What?
It was Operation Fishkill.
Yeah, because all they wanted they're just
fish.
trying to kill the fish.
They've done this before, again.
Yeah.
I just wanted to rewind a little bit to show you guys the first round of Operation Fishkill.
Yes.
That is such crap media that they put out, by the way.
This poor fish is so worried.
My heart goes out to the fish.
Yeah, see, Operation Fishkill, that is when the Chinese government attacks the fish around Taiwan. So yeah, just a little bit of a flashback for you guys as well.
我命令全军各级要强化练兵备战鲜明导向，坚定不移把军事训练摆在战略位置，作为中心工作，抓住不放，抓出成效。要坚持领导带头，以上率下。 坚持实战实训，连战连训，坚持按纲实训，从严治训。
So that was Operation Fishkill 1.
Which, by the way, was a joke.
It was.
I mean, they did murder all the fish because they literally launched... this all happened.
Yes.
The speech is a joke.
Yeah, the speech was a joke. But the actual launching of missiles into the sea...
Yeah,
they wanted to show force.
Yes.
And that's what happened last time. Now, this time they actually put a blockade around the island.
Yeah, and a no-fly zone.
Yeah, which is kind of an act of war.
Yeah, I mean, I would say.
Yeah, and they did live fire drills, as you can see in this graphic above us, into the sea.
Yes.
Wasting vast amounts of ammunition and jet fuel, because they were also testing aircraft carrier takeoffs and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And for what? They achieved nothing again.
No, again, here's the deal. This has been declared so many times. I mean, if you pull up any news, they're like, finally, this is when it's going to happen. Now China's going to invade. You see this? See it? Just like Russia and Ukraine and stuff. And I'm not saying that they're not. I do vehemently believe that at some point China will invade Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so hard. Like, we never can make a prediction properly because we never know. They've literally threatened this thousands of times now.
Yeah.
Thousands of times.
Absolutely.
At an official level since Mao Zedong, right?
Yeah, that's all they could do.
It's ramped up a lot, a hell of a lot. It's definitely a way more precarious situation than it's ever been.
Yes.
Things have definitely not slowed down. It's only escalated, and this is the next level of escalation.
Correct.
But I just want to tell you from a Taiwanese perspective. I talked to some people in Taiwan, and the kind of feeling on the ground is a bit of like mockery and being jaded.
They're just like, oh, they're just doing this stupid clown show again.
I talked to this guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's a friend of my friend. And he said, listen, we're sitting here eating dumplings, right?
Yeah.
While China's spazzing out, telling their people that, you know, we're about to go to war and literally running... They're running a lot of popular media in China that is insinuating that they're about to take Taiwan. they're getting pop stars and really getting the whole kind of entertainment sphere behind the idea that they're going to have to go and sacrifice a bunch of soldiers to take Taiwan, right?
Sure.
It'd be one of the most difficult military operations in the history of mankind to do this, right? So it would take billions, if not trillions of dollars.
Yes.
It would take millions of lives. It would be an absolute nightmare bloodbath. But China's brainwashing its populace to get ready for this. While in Taiwan, there's freedom of media, freedom of press. People can have whatever opinion they want, and they see all these threats. It's not being blocked, right?
Yeah.
They have to actually live on this island with the looming threat of this massive nuclear power aimed at them all the time, right? And this guy I talked to said, we're sitting here eating dumplings because, I'll be honest with you, it's hard not to just laugh at them every time they say they're going to do something and then they don't actually do anything. And it's almost like no one in Taiwan would be surprised if China invaded tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because they've invaded so much that no one even cares anymore. It's like, well, of course we're going to fight.
Yeah.
Screw them. You know?
Yeah, it is. It's just the boy who cried wolf far too many times.
Yeah.
So people just get complacent. They're like, whatever.
I'll never be that guy. I don't know if I can speak for you, but you know that all the people that were denying, like when U.S. intelligence was like, Russia's about to invade Ukraine, everyone's like, no, you idiots. Of course they're not going to invade. And then they invaded like the next day or whatever. I'm never going to be that guy that says China's not going to invade Taiwan.
Sure.
I just think that it's impossible to predict, unless you see a massive buildup that I would insinuate something like this. It's impossible to predict it, next week or in 5 years or in 2 years or whatever.
They did have that massive buildup before. For Operation Fishkill 1.
Yes.
But then when the Ukraine thing didn't go well for Russia, they kind of backed away. So they were planning. I'm telling you, if Russia's invasion was successful, they would have gone ahead.
At least
they definitely are using Russia as like a litmus test.
Yeah,
They're like,
for sure.
Hey,
for sure.
Let's see how it goes with Russia. If they can pull it off, we can pull it off, you know?
You have to admit, though, I think you'd agree, right? It's impossible to predict.
Yeah.
They've just literally said so many times that we're about to do it. We're about to do it, and when is it going to happen?
At this point, you're like, well, then prove it, you know?
That's what I'm saying. The feeling on the ground in Taiwan's like, okay, do it then. Whatever. Holy shit. Stop wasting my time.
Yeah, I love those patches of the bears.
Yeah, those
beating
are cool,
up Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, anyway, what's our foreign ministry water cooler have to say today?
He was bragging about the old blockade, the old no-fly zone, which to me is like, bro, your intentions are pretty clear now. Yeah. I mean, we better kind of shit or get off the pot at this point. Like, be ready to defend Taiwan.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is kind of create a new status quo. So they've putting these blockades up there and putting some warships in the sea, and I think they're kind of going to let them linger.
Yeah.
Hang around.
Do you have to let it linger?
And then possibly just kind of make it status quo that they stay there.
Yeah.
Or that these flights, these incursions that happen daily are just going to continue.
Sure.
I think that's what they're trying to do.
I would reckon you're correct. Anyway, not good to see this escalation for sure.
No.
Not keen on seeing any of this.
It's just a toddler throwing a bloody tantrum.
It is.
Just
truly.
because the president went to go and speak at a library with another Democratic politician, then they get all like uppity.
I can tell you this though. Theoretically, if you look at like what China can do right now, China cannot invade Taiwan.
Yeah.
They cannot do it successfully. It would be, you know how like Russia was bragging about their whole how many day operation or whatever?
Yeah, 3 day or 1 week or whatever.
They're years into it, over a year into it. China, you got to understand, that's a land bordered country.
You got to understand, China.
With very easy to cross borders.
Yes.
We're talking about a high sea invasion of a country that has had decades to fortify.
Prepare, yeah.
And guess what? It did do that. China didn't prepare for decades for this. Taiwan did to defend itself. And I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot easier to defend yourself than it is to invade an island that is fortified against this defense.
That's
or
correct.
This invasion. So it would just simply, I'm not saying China would lose. What I'm saying is it would not be what people think.
Yes.
It will be insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've been effing around in the sea, Operation Fishkill too.
Yeah, so now we have to talk about this leaks thing. I think by now everybody understands what happened here. You had that kind of young guy who was a...
Yeah, we have him in the media pack.
Yeah.
This is just showing the Chinese media how they were covering.
Yeah. He's got a very difficult to pronounce surname. It's like Tesheria or something.
Tetris or something.
Either way, bad move on his
behalf. What a wanker douchebag.
Don't brag to your friends by leaking top secret documents on a Discord server.
Yes. Some of them have been useful to people in journalism, though. And I will say this. It's been especially useful to China, and I'll tell you what. It's actually had a double-pronged thing.
Yes.
Because we'll go into why they're very upset about the leak simultaneously while they're using it to their advantage. How China's using it to their advantage, this is something we can talk with expertise about. We watch and see what China does in their own domestic media.
Yes.
This would be an English version of their domestic media, so you guys can read it. But what they're doing is saying that because of this leak, U.S. hegemony is done.
Yeah.
Like, it's over. U.S. just effed up. All this leak shows that America, the most important feature is America's allies can't trust America anymore because of these intelligence leaks.
Yeah.
Right? This is unprecedented. China would never let stuff leak, right? Like that kind of stuff.
I mean, here's the thing. Okay, all allies spy on each other.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to excuse that, by the way. I think it's not good to be spying on your friends under any circumstance, but that's how countries work.
Yeah.
And it has been like that throughout history. Go all the way back to the Greeks and the Romans and, prior to that, old civilizations like Egypt and so on. It's always been the way things work, okay?
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to understand what's going on with your friends, your enemies, you also have to understand what's going on with your friends because you have to be prepared for any kind of compromise or whatever. So in these leaked documents, it was revealed that the US is spying on its allies, which of course everybody knows this. But it's not good to see that out in the open.
Sure.
You don't want that to, it's kind of like when you tell your friend, hey, listen, don't tell anyone, and then they go and tell people, oh, you know what he said. It's that kind of thing. It's not good. So, China's been jumping on this and having a field day about this. But a lot of other things have come to light from this leak.
It's funny to see the Russia, China shield or Wumaos in the chat.
Oh, yeah. What are they saying?
Just trying to steer the narrative, saying he's a hero for leaking this shit. The old.
Yeah.
Did
you have him in the
piece
thing?
of shit wanker? Oh, it's coming up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, you continue.
Yeah. Let's see. See, I don't see him coming up.
Yeah, he'll come up.
Really?
He'll come up.
Okay.
He's in the. Just move on. It's just a little bit out of order.
Okay, I'll move forward a bit. No.
Oh,
there he is. Okay.
There you go. Tetris or whatever his name is.
I think it's Tesheria.
Testosterone?
Either way, for those of you who happen to not know what happened here is he was, he had, for some reason, this 21-year-old had the highest military clearance.
Yes.
He's some kind of a courier journeyman or something with the data.
Like that, yeah.
And he had access to top secret files, and he was bragging on his little Discord server.
Yep.
And he was trying to rile the people up. And
he literally became a traitor because he wanted to show off.
Yeah. And he took photos of these documents.
Way to waste your life, bro.
And so the documents ended up leaking online, of course, because you're dealing with a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah.
And they ended up in the hands of Russian press and, Chinese press and stuff. So he really screwed up big time, this guy.
Teheria is pronounced Teheria.
Teheria? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, now we know. You sure it's Teheria?
Multiple people, yeah.
Okay. Now we know. Sorry, it's difficult to tell when you're just reading something with an X. It's unfortunate, He wasn't, it looks like he wasn't trying to be a Snowden or a whistleblower. He was just trying to brag.
Look like it,
He's just trying to brag.
Yeah, however you feel about Assange or Snowden or any of those things, even though those two things are wildly different, by the way. But however you feel about this, I highly doubt this is a scenario like that. I mean, you just probably shouldn't be releasing classified documents.
It's incredibly damaging. It's incredibly damaging to the international, the way things work, obviously.
Guys,
what?
We're overrun with like Votniks and Wumao.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what are they going on about?
About how he's a hero and how we're dumb.
He's no hero. You don't leak your secrets out there. It's just, especially
you know what he is? He's a zero.
Especially to brag to your friends.
He's a piece of shit wanker. How dare you call him a hero? It's ridiculous. Anyway, stop leaking freaking intelligence documents.
All you need to do is flip it the other way around. Say, so some Xi Jinping's aide or somebody working for the PLA or something leaks the Chinese documents. Chinese people aren't going to call him a hero.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So obviously people in the US would call him a hero, just like people in China and in Russia are calling him a hero because he's on their side. He's helped their cause.
Because he's hurting the U.S. hegemony.
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
anyway, can we get into why this matters?
Sure.
Okay, so I don't give a shit about this kid. He's gonna do his time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big lesson for him to learn, obviously.
Yeah, I think he'll think about it for a while.
I think he'll have to.
He'll have to write in his journal.
I don't like to see people ruin their lives like that.
No, it kind of sucks, but go F yourself.
At the same time, don't leak top secret documents online.
I mean, it's one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, long story short, what is important is that because of these leaks, a lot of shit's coming out.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a double-pronged thing. It's a dual-pronged thing because China's using this to really disparage America's or like smear America's name across the world. They're like, why are you trusting this big brother over here if he's just going to leak all this intelligence everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You stupid
They're
idiots
so
following
happy
the
that
US.
like the US has been caught out doing something that they do like really well.
All
the time. So they're like, shoo. No, you just like blame it on them.
It's like,
yeah.
Anyway.
Look what they're doing. Oh yeah, we're not doing that.
The really bad part about this is something
the big water bottle's
out.
back, by the way.
Oh, nice. I kind of evolved into something else. Anyway.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Sure.
The most important thing that came out of this was some of the details of this leak that have actually been absolutely devastating to both China and Russia.
Sure.
It's shown massive Russian weaknesses, right? Which I think a lot of people already knew about, but it's interesting to have them confirmed. But also that China agreed to supply lethal arms to Russia. And this was the final, remember the US or the West's final red line was that, okay, China, you buddy up to Russia all you want, and then go on the world stage and say, we think Ukraine is its own country. We don't say that anyone should invade Ukraine, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Here's our peace plan that doesn't actually tell Russia to get out of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, bro, you literally just took Russia's side there.
Yeah.
So the US turns a blind eye and they go, all right, China, you do whatever you want. But as soon as you supply lethal arms to Russia in this war, shit's over. It's done, right? Well, there was a lot of rumors. There was hunting rifles showing up. There were actually assault rifles, right? There were all these situations that were very suspicious. It was like, dude, China's absolutely supplying arms and so helping out Russia in this
body
war,
armor and
right?
stuff.
Body armor.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of been confirmed in these leaks because what happened is in these documents they found that China. What they said to Russia was that, yes, we'll supply lethal arms to you.
Yeah, but we're going to disguise
and we'll increase
them.
it. We'll increase what we're supplying, but we'd like you to disguise it and not disclose that we are doing so.
Yeah, disguise it as civilian items.
Yes.
Yeah,
so they not only did they supply the arms, but they said, here's a secret document about how we're going to hide it.
Yeah.
Right? And this was devastating. Because you know what happens? If the West actually grows some balls, for lack of better words, right?
Sure.
China has to answer to this, and there will be punishment, right?
Yeah, there need to be sanctions.
Yes, and you can't supply arms to Russia in this war, or else you're breaking the agreements, right? So here's the deal. When they're taking apart some of these weapons, Ukrainians are already finding out that there are a lot of Chinese components in them, right? So they've been doing this probably for a while now.
Ship them as parts and you assemble it yourself type thing. Because, don't forget, Norinco, they make amazing AK-47 knockoffs. They're the same thing. You can interchange all the parts.
I went to the Norinco factory, by the way.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
So, I mean, they could just supply weapons in parts form that can just be put together on the field in Russia.
Yes. So what I wanted to say here is that China is horrified at this. So actually, when I said it was a dual-pronged thing, they're going to take advantage of this leak as much as possible to make America look bad. But they're much, much, much more worried. And I promise you that they're more disappointed and scared that this leak happened. And that's because of this revelation.
Sure.
Because there hasn't been a response yet officially from the West/the US about this. But if there is, it's hugely detrimental to China. Because the only thing keeping China afloat right now is the fact that they're not getting sanctioned like Russia.
Yes.
China needs the Western market. And I hate to go on and on about this, but without customers around the world, China can't proliferate. It can't continue. All of its growth in its GDP and everything that it does relies on the other countries.
When are we just going to cut the BS and start to sanction China? Seriously, I just have to say this, coming from a country that was put heavily under sanctions when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to live in a country that's put under sanctions, and I also know it works if you want to force change, so to speak.
Yes.
You know, where are all the I Won't Play in Sun City songs, or the, you know, free the Uyghurs songs instead of Free Mandela, or We Are the World, all this kind of crap? Where are all these songs and this pop culture and all of this, like,
everyone
togetherness?
Together,
Let's all. It worked well against South Africa to end apartheid.
Yeah.
And apartheid would not have ended if that didn't
We were
happen.
talking about this the other day. Think about how awesome We Are the World was. It was such an awesome time where people like came together and all these pop stars and everyone rallied behind it and everyone's like, you know what, screw this racism shit, right?
Well, We Are the World is more about ending hunger.
Ending hunger. But I'm saying that generation, that whole pop culture generation of like, let's come together on a issue.
I mean, we had all those Free Mandela concerts and all that kind of crap. So, you know, it was a whole generation of people who saw injustice somewhere.
Yeah.
And they got together and they made change.
Yeah.
You know, like,
where is that? Where are people coming? I mean, you got people freaking. I don't want to call out the chat, but calling people that literally leaked intelligence documents that help Russia and China, who have declared the U.S. their enemy, a hero. I mean, that's just like this is where we're at today, right? Obviously, the average person is not going to think like that, but. Now, to get back to this, the reason that China is more upset than they are happy about this leak is because of potential sanctions, right?
Yes.
And they rushed immediately to deny this.
Of course.
They basically they put Qinggang, the new foreign spokesperson, foreign minister of foreign affairs, right?
You want
to come out and say, no, you can play the Guardian thing.
Okay.
To come out and say this. This was like a rush kind of like, let's deal with this.
Okay, so this is from The Guardian. Let's just play it very quickly for you.
在军品出口方面，中方采取的是谨慎负责任的态度，不向冲突的有关方提供武器，依法依规对两用的物项的出口进行管制。乌克兰为
Yeah, this whole dual use. See, they said they'll regulate the export of dual use items. They're not dual use, they're single use.
Yeah.
You know?
War.
The fact that they sold civilian hunting rifles to Russia is rubbish. Russia doesn't need M16s to hunt.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were. They were just a knockoff of an M16, basically. A Chinese knockoff. An assault rifle.
Yeah.
It's not a hunting rifle.
Yes.
You don't use that to hunt unless you're dumb. Okay?
Yes.
And Russia can make its own bloody hunting rifles. They don't need hunting rifles.
No.
You know? No. Hunting's quite common in Russia. Anyway.
So here,
what else does he say?
危机发展到今天，教训深刻，值得各方深刻反思。领土不可分割，安全同样不可分割。如果不承认特定一方的安全利益，危机和冲突就难以避免。中方愿继续为和平努力，也希望危机各相关方保持客观冷静，共同为通过谈判解决危机做出建设性的努力。
Angry Bird.
Oh. Anyway, yeah.
So you see what happened there. Talk about a quick and very nervous response.
Very nervous.
About how to... No. We promise. We'll make sure everything's above board. Like, don't do anything. Don't do anything. We didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like, be careful. Bro, the leaked documents say, yes, we'll supply you arms. And this is how we're going to hide it.
Yeah.
You don't say, and then put your foreign minister. No, absolutely not. That's... No. We're not going to send arms at all.
Well, I mean, then again, like, intelligence gathering can always be refuted. You could always say that, look, that's not true. The spies got it wrong, whatever. So it's not like set in stone. They can't be like, oh, China definitely did this. This is intelligence gathering.
Sure.
So just like everything else, it needs to be proven and it needs to go through all the different steps.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's there in the documents has really given China a bit of a scare because they've been caught with their pants down, basically. Because that's what they've been doing.
Arming the other side.
Yeah.
So
it's
kind of like the no zone.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, before we continue, we want to tell you about our Monday show.
Yes.
Just give you a little quick look at what you missed because it was actually quite fun. It was fun for us anyway this past week.
Birds was huge in China. It would have been the first birds many Chinese would see.
Remember Harry Potter, the martial artist? So Mario, it's Sonic and Mario together. Chinese knockoff Titanic on Nintendo. You expect it to control well?
Whale.
It's just called Whale. Cursed Pond.
Cursed Pond. Ass art.
I don't know what ass art is.
Ass art.
Let's see. Want to destroy this mountain? Yes or no? Well, it is China.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely. It's like a mouse simulator.
Yeah. Looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh. This one's officially illegal. How do you win?
You know how you win is you turn it off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sad
So,
clip.
yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
you have to know that if you go to...
patreon.com/ADV podcast. If you join the Shaban Ho tier, you can watch every Monday. You can also see all the previous shows. And not only that, you can also join the lower tier and get the audio only. And if you just join on the lowest tier, you still get access to our Discord and complete uncut shows every week and so on.
The point is, the most important point here is that we have a secret show on Monday. And what you just saw was a clip from that, where we played bootleg fake Chinese video games. We actually imported like a shitty fake Chinese Nintendo.
Yes.
And we played all the bootleg fake games that Chinese people used to get over there. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we always have fun doing that.
Yeah. I think you guys would really enjoy it. So go to patreon.com/ADV podcast. I promise you won't regret it. It's a great, amazing show.
This upcoming week, we've got a follow-up on the most ridiculous foreigner in China.
Yeah, this is more for the people that are already subscribed, but if you're not, hopefully this will entice you. We found the most ridiculous, debaucherous, weird, insane expat. And we do these like breakdowns of like the worst expats we ever met in China.
Yeah.
We found this guy.
We haven't met this guy personally.
No.
Yeah.
But let's just say vindication. I was on the fence about him. Winston wasn't on the fence about him.
No, I was like, this guy's a scumbag, and guess what? He really is.
Wow, you won't believe what we found about this dude.
Yeah.
So definitely, you're going to want to be there for this Monday show. Even if you only sign up for this episode, you'll really enjoy this episode,
Yeah, exactly.
I promise.
So everybody remembers the frog piss, sound bite. Well, here's like, what is this? A follow-up someone posted on our subreddit?
This is what... Play a piss frog.
I did.
Oh, you did. Yeah. This is what happened after the frog was pissed on too many times.
Okay, let's see.
You vanished.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, this is fantastic. Remember last week we showed the background, which was filmed in Beijing. There was a bicycle that was half on the sidewalk, half in the street. No one picked it up for the whole day. Hundreds, thousands of people walking past.
Yeah.
So somebody put this together, right? Mm-hmm. Which I thought was hilarious, where you got the abandoned bicycles. Just there was a whole slideshow, but I guess you only put the one image in there.
Oh, I only saw that one.
Oh, there was a whole slideshow of the bike in different places with Xi Jinping walking past. It was hilarious.
You get the idea. Go check. Well, it's a good plug.
Yeah.
Then. If you want to see the rest, go to our subreddit.
Yeah. Which is
ADVChina.
Yeah, so reddit.com/r/ADVChina. Is it ADVChina?
It's ADVChina.
Yeah, it's ADVChina. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, that was hilarious. Props to whoever put that out there.
Yeah, and props to whoever. Actually, no props. There's a big discussion about who would move the bike.
Yeah.
Some people expats that lived in China reached out and said, I wouldn't move the bike because I lived in China too long and I'm so numb to that. And I was like, I understand that.
Yeah.
I was more asking people that haven't been there, that grew up in a place that maybe you would move the bike normally.
I think you should move the bike if you're just a common courtesy human being.
Yeah.
You should move the bike.
Anyway, apparently it made us look elitist that we would move the bike.
Oh, we're elitist that we'd move. Sorry, we're elitist
that we help people out.
Maybe the word is civilized. Okay.
I think we're nice ass people.
I think civilized.
That's what we are.
It's like do small things to help out your community. Okay.
You know what some of these people that called us elitists for this, I bet they walk up to an old lady that can't cross the street and they go, bitch, and they push her down.
They probably like spit their chewing gum on the floor and like litter.
And they watch for someone to walk on it and then they laugh.
Yeah.
And they snicker.
Seriously, guys. Yeah. Have a little bit of civility. It doesn't hurt.
Pick up the gosh darn bike.
Yeah. It's like if you see like a bottle on the road, I'll also pick it up and throw it in the trash if it's like right near the trash can. I do that type of thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, that's another analogy.
Yeah.
You see a trash can and there's one bottle.
Yeah.
There's one bottle next to it.
Yeah.
Or one bag.
Yeah.
Like a brown paper bag or something crumpled up. Do you pick that up? And you're going to the trash can too to throw something. Do you pick that up when it's on the ground?
I mean, I do it anyway.
100% I do.
Yeah.
Every time. Absolutely.
Pick up the bike.
Pick up the bike, pick up the litter. Do the world a favor.
Yeah, this could be like one of those motivational books,
Don't make the Native American guy cry in that commercial.
Yeah, dude. How is it that the Native American thing has transcended all cultures?
Has it?
In South Africa, you've got, people walking around with those like howling wolf with a, with a dream catcher.
Is it 3 moons, 1 wolf? No, 3 wolf, 1 moon. You know that t-shirt?
Yeah, but no, just that typical like that kitsch. You know that like Native American kitsch where there's like a wolf howling at the moon and maybe like a chief with feather headdress in the stars or something in like a dream catcher. How is that?
I didn't know that transcended over there. I mean, we grew up with that stuff here, for sure.
Yeah, I find it interesting that that's managed to go,
spread around.
It's kind of fascinating.
For sure. Earth Day is next week, said Mary. And Mary, you're absolutely correct. So we'll celebrate the Earth by picking up the litter and the bike.
Yeah, be good. Pick up the bike. Like I was saying, if I'm going to write a self-help book like 7 Rules for Life or something, first one will be pick up the bike.
Pick up the bike, because only until you do that can you address your own problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You're helping everything around your environment.
Yeah, pick up the bike.
Pick up the bike. And that's an analogy for everything in life.
Exactly.
If there's a problem in front of you, deal with it in the here and now. And actually, that's a good thing to tell people. Winston and I both get along very, very closely because we both deal with every situation that's put in front of us immediately.
Yes.
Never put something off. We look at something and we deal with it. And I think that's a good analogy for life that anyone can do. Don't put something off. If something's like, and you set a reminder and you do this and you put it off, just do it right now. Get it done.
That also goes for relationships.
Yes.
Don't let something fester.
No.
That's also why we get along. Because if there's a beef or we have an argument or a problem, straight away we just address it like, get down to it and figure it out. And somebody kind of has to admit they were wrong or off.
For
but
sure.
you just got to address it. You can't let it fester.
No, you deal with it now. You face the problem right away, here and now.
Pick up the bike.
Pick up the bike if your room is messy, your office is messy, or you didn't finish something, you put a bill off, you put this off, do it right away.
Do your taxes.
Do everything right away.
That's like the worst thing in the world. Tax season.
Don't bring up the T word.
It's always they throw in all these do your TurboTax this,
I
do
hate
this, that.
that.
And I'm like,
even after I'm done, I'm like, don't market this to me.
Stop reminding me.
Yes.
It's like it's
I'll
bad
deal with
enough.
it, all right?
It's like such a ball ache.
Get out of here.
Taxes in America is like one of the most ridiculous things ever.
It is, but at the same time, you got to pick up the bike.
Yes.
And you know what? That's an analogy for the whole show and our philosophy in life. And I will say this at some point, and I've been talking to a permanent merch company.
Okay.
If we get some perma merch, I think pick up the bike should be a thing.
Maybe it should.
Yeah. Maybe some cool pixel art of a bike laying down.
Yeah,
and
people just walking
Chinese
past.
say pick up the bike or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's great. Guys, by the way, thank you for putting up with our less than stellar performance today. It's time for us to move on to Yamcha, which is our Q&A segment. This is where I get to loosen the tie, we get to relax, answer your super chats, and just chill out. It's Friday after all. Unfortunately, in my state, I don't think I can relax with the beer after this. I'll have to just skip the beer tonight.
Yes.
And hopefully sometime during the weekend I'll be feeling better.
Yes. So boss, you want me to stop tapping the